Okay, so today I'm going to see if I can create a 12 volts when the ignition is turned on instead of using a constant 12 volts at all the time. The module here is a backup camera with a graphical control. So this is 2006, so it has this one. But the older version should have the backup sensor control box separately. Alright, so now the ignition is off. So I'm going to find out which pin that has the power and which pin doesn't have any power. This guy right here has 12 volts. So everything else seems to have 0. This pin right here have 11.3 volts, which doesn't look like a real thing. So what I'm looking for is the one that have no power at all. So when I switch on the ignition, whatever that one has a 12 volts is the one I'm going to use. Okay, so with the key in the ignition, this pin right here, still 0. Okay, so turn on the ignition. This guy is 11.5 volts. So I think I'm going to use that to trigger a relay that will supply 12 volts straight. Believe it or not, I got a nice relay from China for $1. So what I'm going to do is that this pin right here is going to trigger the relay to close the constant 12 volts from here to all my USB back here. So I'm tired of turning on the switch that I made, and sometimes I forgot. So this is going to be the line to trigger to turn on my 12 volts when the ignition is on, and off. So when the ignition is off, it's verified off, so it's perfect. Now, since it's all bundled like this, how do I know which wire it is? I have to ohm. Okay, so let's ohm it out. So I think it looks like it's a yellow and black. There it is. So the yellow and black is the one. Alright, that's it. On this relay, 8586 is the coil. So that yellow and black is going to go to 85, and 86 is going to go to ground. And my 12 volt is going to go to the pin 30, and when it's energized, my 12 volt, constant 12 volt, is going to jump to 87. So 87 is going to be my hotline after the ignition is on, and connect to all my power USB in the trunk for my TV tuner, and Bluetooth and audio, whatever. So I'm going to splice this one to speaker wires, okay? Anyway, it's going to work. So we crimp it all the way down, and we're going to check and see if it works, but let's lock it. Okay, now we're going to ohm it out and make sure that it's connected. So now we know that it's actually make connection. So this thing is good. So I can plug this one in and turn on the ignition to see if this one's actually have. Okay, so turn on the ignition. We do have 12 volts. So it's a good line. To make sure the relay works, we turn on the ignition, and now we're going to check and see if they really make contact. They're really close. There you go. So it's actually working. Now you can hook up. So where do I get the 12 volts from? I get a 12 volt from this rail, since I don't have any clip to put in the back here to create a new fuse, and too much work. So 12 volts there, ground is there, and this is my fuse. fuse box. Alright, hook up everything, find a place for this relay. Okay, and now before I turn this on, make sure we check everything and the relay is working. So now we can plug in, first use 5 amps. So the output, so the 12 volts actually go to the non-connected side of the relay, and the connected side of the relay, because the relay, they have a constant short between the 2 pins. That pins I use for the output to go to my 12 volt USB, 3 of them. Okay, so let's plug it in and see if it works. Now as soon as I plug in the fuse, everything starts to run, and it doesn't blow yet. So my USB is not on because the ignition is not on, so that's a good sign. So let's go. So now we go inside and turn on the MMI. What I'm going to do is I'm going to check to see if my Bluetooth is on or not. So my Bluetooth is not on. Let's see now if I turn on the ignition, if it's on. There you go. It's on now. It's connected. So let's see if I can play from there. Now we're going to go to CD. We're going to go to AV1 and let's play something. Alright, it's working. So now I get out of the car, turn off the ignition. My goodness, it's so nice. Alright, so since we tap into the backup camera, we want to make sure everything works. We didn't screw up anything. CD, so there's no light. That means good. The Bluetooth connected right away. Alright, so it's good. Now let's put into the backup camera and see if it's still working. Yeah, it's still there. So it's nice. Let's touch this one. Turn it off. Turn it on. Graphics. Rear view. Alright, it works, so nothing's broken. Let's try a different thing. CD still works. Interface still works. The AMI. So, alright.